Have you ever wondered why certain decisions in life feels easier when we break down? Whatever be the things that we have done in the past, why it becomes easier in future to, follow the similar path and learn from the mistakes. Over all of these discussions, whatever algorithms we have, I think we can easily relate all of these things in our real life as well. Hi everyone, my name is Priya Bhatia, and today in this specific video, we will be discussing about a very interesting topic. So I was just thinking that how the algorithms, the strategies that we have in the algorithms, it may be divide and conquer, it may be dynamic programming, it may be greedy algorithms. How these approaches reflect the way we work in real life. So today I will just try to demonstrate you few examples for the same and the messages that we receive from those examples and those strategies. This might help any learner in order to understand the concepts in a lot more detail with a better understanding. So let's get started and we will try to understand whatever be the interesting algorithms that we have in computer science, how these correlates with our real life and what are the messages actually these algorithms are giving to us. I'm pretty sure you have never think like that. So let's get started. So now I hope that my screen is perfectly visible to everyone. And over here, you are seeing the very first algorithm, which I think everybody have seen, understood, work around with that is divide and conquer. If you observe, this is one of the very widely used algorithm because of a lot many applications in sorting, in searching, right? Now, what is the core of this algorithm? If anybody is aware about the intuition behind this divide and conquer, it says that divide a very complex problem into multiple, I would say, sub problems, right? And then try to solve each and every sub problem. So, if you will be able to observe, this is what I have mentioned over here that divide and conquer means we are trying to break that big problem into smaller parts. We are solving each one of them and then we're combining these results. So, if you observe, uh, if let's say we will talk about any of the applications that we have in this specific domain of divide and conquer, whether it's about a sorting algorithm or it's about a searching algorithm, what we are doing at the end of the day is we are trying to have a bigger problem. We are trying to split that problem into multiple sub problems. For example, there is a very famous example of a merge sort in this, right? So if we will be having a huge amount of data and we want to sort them, we want to arrange them in either ascending or descending order, we say that maybe take few sub problems and maybe divide them into two sub problems. Individually solve the sorted array for this specific sub problem and for this specific sub problem. And then we work around with combining these two results and getting the final sorted array or the sorted list. So over here, if you will try to understand this very carefully, and if you will try to correlate with this with real life, what we are doing, let's say we are preparing for any bigger event in our life. It can be a big exam which you are preparing from past few years. It may be you're planning a wedding or you're organizing your house. If you try to do everything at once, this is what usually a human habit is. They want that everything I will be able to do at once, but it will be overwhelming at that point of time. The best idea is that you will divide that specific bigger event, that specific bigger exam preparation, that specific bigger house into multiple chunks, right? So over here, same thing I have mentioned over here as well, that if you divide the task, maybe notes, revision, practice test, or if we talk about the house, wardrobe, kitchen, or living room, the process becomes manageable. So what is the message over here with respect to this specific algorithm? Message is very simple. The message is that whenever we will be having any big problem in our life, that bigger problem solution doesn't require that big level of energy. That requires some structure. That requires that some guidance will be there in terms of splitting that idea into multiple sub problems. Either you can delegate it to someone or you can manage that with individual sub problems that we will be having in our life, right? Further, the next interesting algorithm that we have is a greedy algorithm. Again, in terms of algorithm, we usually have lot many applications for this as well. But how can we correlate this with the real life? So what first of all this greedy algorithm says, it simply says that whatever be the best possible choice you have at the moment, pick that up, right? Without thinking too much about the longer data that we will be having, or without thinking too far. So over here in real life, we use this when we take the shortest route to work, or when we pick the quickest task first, or when we choose the next healthiest meal option first, whenever we are hungry, whenever we are tired. Now I can perfectly correlate this specific thing in any of the startup. In Bangalore specifically, I have observed, because I have also worked with the startup based firms as well. And over there, the most important thing is the deliverable. So sometimes it happens that what progress you have made is actually much more important than the perfection. So at any point of time, and that's what we usually follow in our life as well. And today also, when I have some idea, I usually think that let me execute that idea. Let me check that whether I will get a success or a failure in that idea, rather than thinking about too much perfection. So greedy choices when we make, it doesn't guarantee the perfect result for sure, but they help us in keeping moving forward, in preventing the decision paralysis, right? Sometimes we just keep on thinking, just for the sake of perfection, that we will be waiting for the right time, we will be waiting for right stage. But sometimes it's very important that whatever best you have at the moment, accordingly you will just completely execute the process and see the results. And maybe based on the feedback, you can keep on improvising it. It's really important. And I think in lot many executions of my project currently, I'm executing this specific part, because previously, if you will ask me a few years back, I was very much into perfection in terms of whatever work I'm doing. But later on, I realized that, perfection is also an illusion, right? We can get a feedback, and based on the feedback, we can just keep on improvising ourselves. And I think that's a very good choice. Again, algorithm number 3, dynamic programming. I hope everybody must have observed this specific algorithm also. Learning from past mistakes. It's a very beautiful, algorithm, I would say, in terms of correlation with the life. Whenever we do something new in our life, we learn from that experience. We definitely made some mistakes as well, right? So what this dynamic programming says, it says that store the solutions so that you don't repeat the same work. How can we correlate this in real life? This is very simple. If you already handled a tough conversation at work, a similar one automatically becomes easier. If you already learned the basics of investing, maybe your next financial decision will not be from scratch. For example, I used to launch multiple courses, and maybe in one of the first initial course, it took me a lot of time in terms of curating the content. I learned from the feedback of the learners also, right, as a mentor. And then what will happen? When I'm launching the second version of that course, obviously the quality will be supreme. Why? Because I have learned from my first cohort that what are the mistakes I have done, what are the feedbacks I have from the learners, how can I improvise more on top of that content. It is not like I'm again creating the content from scratch. It never happens like that. Same thing we are doing in DP, right? Similarly, if let's say I'm doing something new, I have done a lot of mistakes. Maybe my manager tell me that, Priya, this is where you are not doing good. So obviously, I will first of all try to improvise myself. But based on that experience, once I have done that, once I have gained the experience, I can reuse that in multiple things. So what happens? What is the message? Experience reduces the effort. Learn once, apply multiple times. It's a very good message, which I think we can definitely apply in our real lives as well. The next interesting algorithm that we have is binary search. Again, this binary search is also an application of divide and conquer. What it says, if you remember in binary search, if let's say we will be having a sorted data in an array, in a list, we usually try to split our data into halves by 2. Whatever be the size we have for a given list, we say n by 2. Now over here, because the data is already sorted, let's say I'm looking for any specific element, I know that if the middle element, whatever be the value I have, for example, the middle value is 50 and I'm looking for 70, I know that that 70 will be available towards the right side of 50. If let's say I'm looking for an element 20, I know that that specific element 20 should be available at the left side of the 50. So somehow we are trying to optimize our search, and that's where the complexity gets reduced. So in real life, whenever you are choosing a career, whenever you are taking any bigger decision of your life, you also have to narrow down your criteria. You have to think that what actually you want to achieve at the end of the day. It's very important to do the elimination, because everything we cannot do. We have to think, for example, if you're talking about any role. So do I want a tech role or a management role? Do I need a, if you're purchasing a house, you have to think that do I need a quiet neighborhood or a central one? Do I want fiction or non-fiction, and so on? There are multiple things, there are multiple decisions that we have to take in our life. So obviously, once we start doing a elimination and thinking about our priorities, things becomes very easy. We can easily take our decisions in a wise manner. So what is the message from there? Clarity comes from elimination, right? Quite amazing, isn't it? Now, the next specific part, backtracking, another amazing algorithm that we have. So what we do in backtracking, if you know the basic of that, we try to explore each and every possible path. And if we didn't find the suitable results, we go back and try to rethink about other unexplored paths, right? And this is what we do multiple times in our life as well. For example, I think anyone who is a fresher, who have just completed their bachelor's, they should at least do a lot of career trials. You don't know that what is the best job role suitable for you. You can go in a data science domain, you can go in any of the data roles, you can also explore web development path, you can also explore Java development path. So there are so many career opportunities we have. So over there, what we can do, we can try something, we can evaluate it. If it doesn't fit, we can go back and we can pick the another route. Because you're a fresher, you are just having a free mind and you can pick up at that moment anything, whatever suits the best for you. So what is the message from there? And it's a very important message, that wrong paths are not the failures, they are the part of the search. Because once you start getting a failures in few paths, you will explore the other paths. Otherwise, how will you go back and how will you explore the other difficult paths that we have in our life? The next amazing algorithm is sorting algorithm. Again, a very good application of divide and conquer. Few minutes back, I have talked about this. What we are doing over here is we're trying to arrange the data in a data structure. It may be a list, it may be an array. So what does that mean? Organizing our life. And it's very important wherever you are staying, wherever you are living, or whatever task you are doing. Now, it may be a digital one, it may be a physical one. You have to be organized in terms of your time management, in terms of scheduling a task by priority, in terms of filtering your priorities from the lot of noise that you have in your life. So this sorting brings a clarity, right? And this is what is mentioned over here. So what is the message from this specific part, from this specific algorithm with respect to real life? That when you have an order in your life, it reduces the chaos. That's why wherever you sit, wherever you do all your office work, try to make sure it's clean, it's organized, and whatever table, desk you have, it is organized in a way that you will be able to do a lot of tasks in a good manner. Similarly, whatever laptop you have, try to organize your folders in a proper manner so that things are structured and you know that where your project belongs to if you're working with the multiple projects as well. I have seen lot many of my friends whose laptop is very much organized. So please try to adapt this habit, and I think you will be able to do a lot many things in that specific manner. Next specific algorithm that we have is recursion. I think everybody knows about recursion because it actually helps us to solve lot many problems in algorithm. What do we mean by recursion? It is something which is about repeating a pattern until it works, right? So we will be always have some base case condition, and then we just keep on recursively iterating till we reach to that specific base case condition. So it simply means we are trying to solve a problem by breaking it into a smaller version of the same problem. Now, how it correlates with the real life? This is how habits are built. When we have a small repeated actions, for example, we are waking up early, reading daily, saving money monthly. So what happens is when you have good small habits, it will try to inculcate your daily routine. And if you have a good daily routine, you will be definitely able to achieve good results at the end of the month, at the end of the year, right? So what is the message over here? You don't, in order to achieve bigger things in your life, again, you don't have to do something bigger. Just small steps which you are repeating consistently, that is something which can create bigger results in your life, right? So what is the overall conclusion? What is the message I am trying to give from this video is that these algorithms that we used to study in computer science, right? Almost everybody have to go through with this specific process, because till today, whether you are applying for any specific domain, these are the initial filtration rounds that we will be having, right? DSA. So these are not just computer, they are the reflections of how humans think, how humans act and solve the problems. So once we start recognizing these patterns, whether it's with respect to the coding part or life part, it becomes easier to understand. So when I learned this specific algorithms for the very first time, I remember that at that point of time itself, these examples came into picture. And definitely today I'm sharing with you all. Uh, Apart from that, again, there are so many further examples which you can think. Maybe if you have any other example which you can correlate, please try to ping in the comment section of this video. I am looking forward to it. And with that, I hope that overall you find this video, insightful. If you really want to gain an expertise over the specific concepts also, if you don't know, we have also curated one specific course about this, DSA for tech interviews. It's the latest course of mine, which is available on Udemy, where you can find the complete structured content. This is the course which is created by Hitesh sir and me. Python is completely covered up by him. And then if you will go below, after Python, we have this introduction to algorithms. Over here, you will find completely in detail the core concepts of algorithms and data structure. Also, we are planning to add the lead code specific problems, a separate section for this, because many of the people have requested for the same. So if you are looking forward towards preparing for technical interviews specifically, now again, as I have mentioned previously also, be it any specific role, this is something which is always required. So once you will prepare all these stuffs, I think this will be very easy for you to at least get filter down in the first and second round, and then maybe further whatever your expertise is, accordingly interviews will happen. So if you are really interested, please go and check this out. And with that, let me wrap up this specific video. I will see you all in the upcoming video. Please make sure you will write in the comment section that if I miss any algorithm, and you can easily correlate that with the real life, please give me a few examples for that. Do hit like button if you find the video insightful. Share this with everyone and do subscribe to my channel. It would really mean a lot to me. With that, bye bye everyone, and see ya.